ठीक, हाँ बोल।
Thank you, sir. Sir, I must compliment the Railway Minister for his stand that he just announced while intervening in the debate, that those states who have come and met him, he has already sorted out their issues. And he mentioned names of few states like Kerala, Tamil Nadu, Orissa and some other states. And he's also volunteered and offered it that if the state MPs from West Bengal go and come and see him, he will definitely be able to sort out the issues. Sir, I feel he also considers Maharashtra in that category so that we can go to him, explain to him our issues and will be able to get it sorted out from him, because Mumbai, which is the capital of the state, contributes significantly towards the revenue of the railways, and I think he will be definitely be able to sort out the issues pertaining to our state. Sir, many members have expressed their concerns about the security and the security of the passengers who travel by the railways. I would not like to say that in case of railway passengers in Mumbai, because for railways in Mumbai, there is no place for passengers to get in. So there is no possibility of any dacoity taking place in the past, because there is no thieves can also enter. The railway lines is that crowded. So I think I will not be able to share the concerns of the passenger on that count.
भीड़ ज्यादा हो तो जेब कतरे तो आ जाते हैं।
So sir, I would like also to draw his attention to the new project that the railway undertook and has successfully completed, called Konkan Railway. Sir, I happen to represent that constituency. I belong to Konkan and must compliment the railway authorities and the railway minister for completing this project in a record time. Sir, this was envisaged and it was contemplated as a project of socio-economic development. Sir, this project is now due for completion, and as per your statement, it is about 95 to 97% complete, and but for certain developments that are taking place in Goa, it is 98% complete. So I think it is now on the verge of completion. So it's a time to take stock about what we have attained by this new project. Sir, when it is a socio-economic development project, it is needless to say that the local people must be absorbed in employment of such a massive project. Sir, this railway project has been completed only because there are thousands of people who donated, virtually donated, the lands to railway authorities. Sir, those who signed the document, it must be only singular example of how people have really contributed towards the development of this project. Is these various farmers, poor farmers, offered their land even without knowing how much compensation they are going to get. Sir, many of these farmers have not yet got compensation for the precious land that they have parted with. Sir, I would appeal to the railway minister to immediately constitute a tribunal to go into the demands and the claims of various farmers and must settle the disputes immediately. Sir, the railway project of this magnitude has cost several hundred crores. I think it is more than 2,000 crores probably. The component of land value in that is hardly anything, and it is a time that railway authorities really consider seriously about compensating the farmers at market price. Otherwise, we will be failing in duty if we call it a socio-economic development project when the social aspect of the project are neglected. Sir, there are many people who have offered the land and they have not yet got compensation is another aspect, but the policy of the government should be, and which has been demanded by me personally to the railway, the Konkan Railway chairman, Mr. Sridharan, that those who are displaced persons should be given priority while getting jobs. Sir, this is not adhered to, though we call it a Konkan Railway, the region of Konkan, which is there in Maharashtra, the employment has been given to people who are not even residents of Maharashtra. So I think, sir, I would really request that the policy of granting jobs to locals and particularly the displaced persons who have offered their land should be scrupulously followed, and this tribunal that I am requesting should also look into this aspect very seriously. Sir, the railway starts from Kurla to go to Sawantwadi. Sir, this is a new project, so I will not blame our officers in the railway board for not knowing the spelling of Sawantwadi properly. They have misspelled the spelling in the annual report for Sawantwadi. So this is something which is a backward region, has to receive a backward treatment, is understandable. But sir, this railway starts from Kurla, which is a faraway place, and it is not convenient to any of the passengers boarding the train or alighting from it while they come from Kokad. So my request, sir, to Railway Minister is to please start this train from Dadar, and the terminating point also should be Dadar, which is a real demand of all the people. And I feel this is something which is very simple, could be done, and I'm sure the Railway Minister, while offering his reply, would certainly consider this demand instantly. Sir, there has been several tracks which were laid, or the railway lines were developed. So many institutions, so many houses have been damaged. It is a bond and responsibility of the railway authorities to restore those, and I think this also should be done immediately, because the monsoon is going to come and there will be real loss of property and life to thousands of people unless this restoration activity is taken place immediately on a war footing. Sir, there are so many employees who are taken in employment by the Konkan Railway Corporation because to complete this project. So my first request to Railway Minister is not to dismantle this Konkan Railway Corporation, because this organization is one of the finest examples of success, how to motivate people. We always say the public sector, we don't find motivated people, but Konkan Railway employees were the most motivated lot one could find, not only in the Indian railway system, but probably in the entire public sector, or for that matter, probably in any entity in India. So this organization should not be dismantled. The system, the procedure, the people, the commitment should also be kept intact, and we should try to undertake the jobs elsewhere. But sir, for some reason, we would like to displace with some people, then I think it is the duty of the railway authorities to absorb them in the parent organization, and they should not lose jobs, because 56,000 locals, 56,000 casual workers are getting jobs. So the people from Konkan Railway should not be, at their expense, this should not be implemented. Sir, one request I would make to Honorable Minister, because he is really, I must compliment him for having recognized the services of many veterans in the field, and he has been naming many veteran people and giving their names for the railway project. Sir, this railway project is a brainchild of Mr. A.B. Walawalkar. Sir, when nobody thought about railways, Konkan Railway, everybody thought it's a foolish idea to even think about it. Mr. A.B. Walawalkar, who no longer lives, really professed and propagated this idea till the last breath. And sir, when the project is complete, it is a responsibility of all of us to recognize the dream, recognize the contribution of this great visionary, Mr. A.B. Walawalkar. And sir, this project should be really named after him. And also, I would request Mr. Ramvilas Paswanji, the minister, to also recognize the role of Mr. Nathpai, who was a veteran parliamentarian, and all those who have been really in this house for a long time would remember his contribution. Sir, probably his name also should be finding some place in some places. Sir, there are some demands made by some locals. The Konkan Railway passes through two districts of Ratnagiri and Sindhudurga, but it does not halt anywhere besides Ratnagiri town in any other part of Ratnagiri district, and in Sindhudurga district it halts only in one place. So it is really necessary that those stations which we have created should be used, and the train must halt at more stations than what it halts now. Sir, we must really like to know, because this annual report and also the budget statement makes a passing reference to Konkan Railway. Though Konkan Railway Corporation is a separate legal entity, it is part of the Konkan Railway, part of the Indian Railways operation. Sir, how much debt that we have raised, and when we are going to start the repayment of the debt, though it is an interest-free bond, that's why the coupon rate is only 9.5% to 10%. The interest liability as well as the principal, when we are going to repay, how much is the liability that we are going to, how are we going to amortize this liability, and over what period of time, and for that what additional burden would be there on the Konkan Railway Corporation, and whether income tax free.
Because you said interest free.
It's a tax free bond. Yes. It's a tax free bond. Yes. Sorry. Sir, I would also like to know, because the Konkan Railway Corporation is a separate corporation, is it part of the Indian Railways or not? Because some of the officers in Konkan Railway are not asking ex-members of parliament who have been here for 15-20 years, saying that he cannot travel by this railway because your pass as an ex-MP is valid only on Indian Railways and on Konkan Railways. So probably the Konkan Railway Corporation is thinking that though it's a separate legal entity, it is outside the purview of Indian Railways, and probably we must remind them that they are also part of the Indian Railways, and I am sure the Railway Minister would certainly let them know about this. Just and
तो ships to be
member of parliament.
Just I want to, what do you mean to say that the former member of parliament, they are not being allowed in that Konkan railway?
Yes, sir.
Not been recognized.
Sir, one Mr. Bapusaheb Parulekar, who has been a very illustrious member of parliament and a very well-known lawyer, about 75 years of age, was refused entry into railways because he thought that he was possessing this ex-MP's pass. And sir, this is very unfortunate, and I had to apologize to him on your behalf. I am sure I have the right to do that.
I today declare that कहते हैं कि any railway, क्या कहते हैं कि former member of parliament or present member of parliament, they will be allowed.
ये तो जहाँ तक मेरी
And
जानकारी
one
है,
thing also I want to make clear कि सर थोड़ा बहुत हमारे पास में आ रहा है शिकायत। ऐसा हुआ था कि एक बार अखबार में निकल गया था कि साहब रामविलास पासवान ने बहुत ही रेलवे पास का मिसयूज किया और शताब्दी में और राजधानी में भी रेलवे पास जो है बहुत कर दिया। हमको बहुत गुस्सा आया कि हम कभी करते नहीं है। जो रेनुअल वगैरह आता है कहीं कहीं कुछ कर दिया करते हैं, वो भी रेनुअल वगैरह बहुत आप लोग करते हैं सब। हमने एक आदेश जारी कर दिया कि सर शताब्दी में और क्या कहते हैं कि राजधानी में जो पास दिया गया है, किन्हीं को दिया गया है, उसको बंद कर दिया जाए। उसमें क्या हो गया, हमको ये हमारे दिमाग में नहीं था, उसके कारण फॉर्मर मेंबर ऑफ पार्लियामेंट जो था वो विक्टिम हो गए। तो विक्टिम होने के बाद तो फिर जो ही हमारे नॉलेज में आया, मैंने उसको जारी कर दिया, उसी समय में जारी कर दिया। ये हम आपकी जानकारी के लिए बता दें, क्योंकि बहुत से माननीय सदस्य आज भी कह रहे थे कि शायद फॉर्मर मेंबर ऑफ पार्लियामेंट को बंद कर दिया गया है। क्या बंद नहीं किया?
Ex-MPs do not get reservation in Rajdhani Express. Ex-MPs do not get reservation in Rajdhani Express.
क्या
By their name.
अब हम लोग उस बात में कर लेंगे, लेकिन जो अभी
नहीं, एक ही बात। Former MPs or ex-MPs do not get their reservation by their own name in Rajdhani Express.
नहीं पहले मिलता था।
No, when he was the MP, sitting MP, he used to.
नहीं, हम वो तो हम देख लेंगे। हम ये कह रहे थे कि फॉर्मर एमपी के नाम, फॉर्मर एमपी को राजधानी में और शताब्दी में सहूलियतें मिलती थी। उसके कारण बाद में जो क्या कहते हैं उसको खत्म कर दिया गया था, वो क्या कहते हैं कि वो चालू क्या कहते हैं कर दिया गया है। वो खाली बीच में एक दो दिन क्या कहते हैं कि वो कंफ्यूजन के कारण हो गया था।
But you please do something for the ex-MPs getting reservation in Rajdhani Express and Shatabdi.
Yes, sir. Sir, I thank the railway minister for immediately acceding to certain demands. Sir, there has been, as I mentioned, the railway stations on Konkan. Let me finish the Konkan railway part of it, sir. Sir, Konkan railway has some stations which have not been used, as well as there are some demands from some people to have a railway station, because when it was planned, when it was contemplated, certain areas were neglected. So, sir, I would request you to please undertake a survey, and I will give the names of the stations which should be there, which should be covered by this. So, I request, please, Honorable Minister, to please take care of this. Sir, there is a need. I was reading the annual report of the railways that there is a railway recruitment board which undertakes recruitment to bring about a rationality and to make sure that no undue favor is done to anybody. So I request him to please for a regional recruitment board for Konkan Railways, because everything else is separate. Konkan Railway has all other systems, everything is functional autonomy. So this regional recruitment board for Konkan Railway will be really necessary, and I really request the minister to consider to these also. Sir, there is a consultative committee for various zones, but there is no consultative committee for Konkan Railways. So the problems of commuters, problems of the people who travel by it, problems pertaining to Konkan Railway cannot really be redressed or cannot be addressed too. So I request the Honorable Minister to please look into this. Sir, one aspect which I just touched, and I am really proud to say that Indian Railways are undertaking jobs all over the world. This is something which is really a cause of real celebration. We should really compliment the engineers, the people who are responsible for it. So this Konkan Railway Corporation is a singular example of how it could be done in a record time in a most difficult terrains known to the Indian, not only in India but in the world. So why not use Konkan Railway Corporation's expertise to undertake projects elsewhere in the world where in difficult terrains, so probably these systems can earn money for the railways and we don't dismantle this organization which has been so superbly created. So one word, I will fail in my duty if I don't mention about one thing about Konkan Railway. Sir, Mr. Sridharan, who is the present chairman of the railways, as well as his team of engineers and all those who have really made it possible, should be felicitated in some form or the other by the people of India. So it's a time that we really record the services, their contribution, and probably we award Padma Shri and Padma Bhushan to several categories of people. Probably one of those should also be considered for that. And there has to be some thanksgiving from the people of India for this wonderful feat that they attained. Sir, the other issue, though not pertaining to Konkan Railways now, is the broader issue that we are embarking on a massive gauge conversion drive. So during the year, we have probably done 758 kilometers of gauge conversion. And when we do gauge conversion, the question is, where there are some railway facilities available in some form or the other, whether we should spend our energies and money and resources into converting that existing one into another type of superior form of gauge. Sir, by doing that, we are really compromising and sacrificing the interest of rail development and not laying adequate new lines because our funds are getting diverted to that. Sir, it's a time that we come out with a good policy about how gauge conversion should take place and what should be the trade-off between new rail development and the gauge conversion. And unless we really come out with a good concrete policy, and this government is committed to transparency, I think unless we really come out with this transparent policy for new rail lines, on what basis new rail lines are started, what is the basis of that, how we are reconciling to various demands from different parts of the country, and we are giving preference to one region, and also how we are going in for gauge conversion in preference to new lines. It should be something which should be really debated and should be made as a part of the policy, which is I feel, sir. Sir, the R&D exercise of the railways, and we have mentioned various projects which are already undertaken. Sir, I find that some of these R&D projects are definitely meant for engineering or superior engineering in various parts of railway operations. And that is understandable, and that's how it should be also. But sir, the passenger comfort, the people who travel by it, and what facilities could be offered to them, how that stay could be made comfortable, there is no R&D project that has been undertaken for that purpose. And I would request the railway minister, who really represents the interest of common man, to undertake such a project, so that when the people travel by such railways, the coaches, they will find their life more better than what it is now. So I think that R&D projects also should be undertaken with that type of objective. Sir, the rolling stock of the railways, and there has been some improvement in the development of rolling stock. And we always say that the rolling stock is now enough to cater to the demand that is existing in the country. But sir, I find that there are several sectors, and as you can see, the basket of cargo that the railway handles, the coal accounts for a substantial portion. More than probably 60-65% of the cargo is handled is the coal. But sir, the non-coal component of cargo, I think it is really suffering because of not availability of adequate rolling stock. So it's the time that we really come out with a properly blueprint for maybe 10-15 years from now, and what would be the envisaged demand for the railway coaches, and how we are going to really cater to that is something which we should know. Sir, the last year, the railway minister must be complimented for being the first organization in the government to come out with a performance-linked insurance bonus, and because of that, all other sectors also benefited. Sir, in this budget, I don't find any provision made for this bonus to be paid. Is it that the government is not thinking of paying any performance-linked bonus this time, or is it that we are going to come out with a supplementary budget, or is it that we want to show the lesser deficit and we come out with that time, and then every other department also will stand in chorus and then will really pay that bonus, is something which we have to know. Or is it something which was meant only for the last year because it was the first year in office? Also, I don't know. Maybe the railway minister has something to say about that also. Sir, these 57,000 casual laborers, a part of them have been absorbed. Sir, the policy, the very fact that they were made casual, probably because the nature of the work was casual. Or is it that the nature of job was permanent, but they were casual? That also should be mentioned. If the nature of job was casual, what are we going to do with these newly absorbed people? How are they going to be productively used? Is something which must be mentioned while looking at the humanitarian side of it and saying that they must be absorbed. Because even I had said the same thing in the while intervening in the budget discussion last time, that there is a need to have some sort of policy. But how are we going to make the better use of those their people, is something which I am sure the railway minister would also be able to tell us during the course of his talk. Sir, there has been a corporate plan which the Indian Railways had from 1985 for till the end of this century, that is year 2000. About 12 years have already passed and only 3 years have remained And this corporate plan, there are some objectives which are stated objectives for the plan. The objectives are very glorious. And if you really look at the objectives, probably when we have completed about 12 years of corporate plan, the Indian Railways should be wearing a different face. I would like the Railway Minister to let us know about what was the objectives when it was started in 1985. Now when we are almost till the end of, we are going to complete this corporate plan period of up to year 2000, how much we are attained, and if we are not attained it, is he thinking of creating another corporate plan? And what is the real purpose of creating a corporate plan when we don't even do the appraisal and a midterm appraisal about what we are going to attain by this? Sir, the Mumbai Suburban Railway, which contributes the highest revenue to the Indian Railways. Sir, it is really necessary that we must come out with a white paper about how much revenue this railway contributes and how much are we going to give in return to the commuters of Mumbai who have nothing else to travel by and are forced to go by these trains, and probably their life is miserable than even the animals who probably will be transported by railways. Sir, Mumbai Suburban Railway should be treated separately. There has to be a separate, all norms should be separately followed, and we should really cater to this. Because Mumbai Railway, I am not parochial when I say this, Mumbai transports people from all over the country, and for that matter even from outside the country, and those who travel by this train must deserve a separate treatment at the national budget, and I think we must really come out with a proper white paper and a good policy about how Mumbai passengers would be properly treated. Sir, this passenger safety is a point of concern by many, and I was saying that I am not referring to dacoities in Mumbai Railways only because for dacoity to take place, the dacoits must be able to get into the railways, and they are not well trained as much as our Mumbai passengers, so they cannot get into that. But sir, this is about the time that we start a railway passenger insurance scheme whereby all the passengers get a blanket insurance irrespective of the mode of travel, the distance that they travel, because the accidents are taking place at a very high level. And now we are thinking, our Honorable Finance Minister has also stated that insurance sector needs competition. So why not come out with a new insurance product in which all the railway passengers will be protected, the risk will be covered, and they will be able to travel with free mind than what they travel now. Sir, I was reading at some of the figures in the railway budget. So the thefts of cargo that take place in Indian Railways, the railways have to really pay out a large amount of money as a compensation, as claims, and also to pay for the loss of property. Sir, what steps are we really taking? Because this R&D mechanism, etc., are the cargo handling being taken in a different way? There are, even at ports, we are really doing a lot of mechanization to handle cargoes. Are the railways also going to be handling cargoes in a different way to make sure that this loss on account of this comes down significantly? Sir, only one or two points, sir. So this fare structure also needs to be rationalized in case of Mumbai, so that I will come and give the details to the minister, sir. Sir, I request one thing to the minister. Sir, the Rajasthan tourism is surviving because of contribution of Indian Railways. And you have mentioned in a very nice way in your report about how many tourists that Indian Railways handles. So the handling of cargo, handling of bulk cargo, handling of steel and coal, handling of passengers, and handling of tourists is done by one single organization. Are we not thinking of making subsidiaries for handling specialized type of passengers like the tourists, so that the tourist also could be properly catered to, the revenues of the railways could increase, and their specific needs could also be taken care of? The passengers travelling by suburban railways, passengers travelling on trunk route, the passengers travelling as tourists, and the cargo cannot be treated at par, and I think there is a need to have some sort of a special subsidiary for handling tourists as passengers, and this is what I feel, sir, will be done. So this vacant land of 25,000 hectares out of the total land of 4.19 lakh hectares that the railway possesses, out of which 2,000 is already encroached. So 2,000 hectares of land which is encroached is a lot of money and a loss to the railways. So what steps are we taking to retrieve this land from the encroachers? 2,000 hectares of precious land, a property which is encroached by people, and railways probably what steps they are taking, there is no mention about it. And also, sir, there is another 25,000 hectares of land out of this 4.19 lakh hectares is lying vacant. So probably it is lying vacant for the encroachers to come and encroach. So what steps you are taking to make sure that this 25,000 hectares of land will not be also encroached like the 2,000 hectares which have already been encroached. Sir, the condemned rolling stock, which is of a very high quantity every year. So are we thinking of probably part of this condemned railway stock could be reconditioned and could be sent to some of our friendly countries who would really benefit, and probably this gesture would also be realized, because we are hardly realizing any significant amount out of this. Sir, the productivity parameters have not been mentioned anywhere in the budget. So it is a time that we really come out, because we also mentioned that our average annual wage has gone up from 45,709 in 1983-94 to 59,219 in just 2 years' time. It's a very good thing. We are really compensating the workers in an adequate manner. But sir, has the productivity gone up in the Indian Railways during the same period, which really needs to be mentioned as per employee productivity, as we are mentioning the per employee wage cost in the railways? Sir, the public relation and education advertisement campaign of the railways has really helped in creating better image for the railways. But sir, is it really necessary as a part of the advertising campaign that a Prime Minister's photograph has to be published in a full-page advertisement all over the country when we are starting a railway line in one corner of the country, probably in Bihar? So all over the country we are really publicizing full-page advertisement, and the cost that we incur on that probably could be better utilized to offer better facilities to the commuters.
I suppose you have concluded.
If you say so, sir.
Thank you.
Thank you.